Hi, friends. I'm Ajay Kumar, and I am the SaaS Sales Head of AIQoD360. And welcome to the webinar, newest in the series, where we are going to talk about the smart marketing and smart sales. And I'm proud to introduce Mr. Anil Nair. He is CEO of AIQoD. Welcome, Anil, to the show.
Thank you, Ajay. Always pleasure to be here.
Great. So now today we have a very special topic. It is a kind of a burning topic in today's world, and we would like to, get a good insight the AI code capability. How are you going to fix these problems, which are, problems of today's, business? Okay. So shall we start by asking questions, Anil?
Yeah, please.
Okay, great. So, see, I have been meeting a lot of people, and they're running small businesses, large businesses, enterprises, and all of a sudden, they have a lot of problems because the digital marketing is the key. Now, without digital presence and consistent presence, we cannot survive our business. Now, today, I have a lot of use cases which I want to throw to you. How are we going to smoothen and handle and help these people to do a lot of automation in smart sales and smart marketing? Now, why this question? Because now the entire world industry is trying to move from Google to Chat GPT. So definitely this is also going to create a lot of new practices because I understand a lot of AI agents have come into picture, a lot of new things are coming. So how are we going to get use these tools to handle our leads? Okay, and let me add a flavor here. I keep meeting people. I keep exchanging visiting cards. I get a lot of contacts which is created in my Google account, and that remains in the Google account. How do I take it to the lead management, and how do I do manage my leads? So, Anil, your view on this?
So let me take a step back and maybe start with why we are focusing on sales and marketing, right? I think the business, any business for that matter, runs with customers, correct?
Right,
And customers we acquire through digital and sales, digital marketing or marketing and sales efforts. I
right,
think that's a primary goal. Secondly, there are various mechanisms. I mean, you look at, I mean, we have spent a lot of time in corporate as well. We know that there is so much of value to relationships, right?
right,
Once you build a customer relationship, once you have a rapport with the customer, that relationship can go a long way, and you can actually get a lot of business from that relationship. And like you mentioned,
absolutely.
you have a lot of contacts, right?
Right.
Um, and those are your network, or we say that network is the net worth, right?
Yes.
And the more networked you are, or the more number of connects you have, you will have more net worth, even not for just for yourself, but also for your organization.
Right.
And I think that's a prime first way to look at that. Who are my contacts? Are they being utilized in the right way, right? We realize most of the time that there are hundreds of contacts we have and we have never touched upon them, and we start connecting with them. We realize that, oh, we have, why didn't we talk to them before, right? So the solution that we emphasized was, how can we solve all these problems? And through our platform, we're giving an option of how these contacts can be it Google contacts, or WhatsApp, phone contacts, Gmail contacts, phone contacts, how all these can be automatically put in your system, in your lead management system, so that it can be utilized for marketing and sales efforts. So that's the way we have seen how people should utilize their network.
Right. Amazing. So now, see, I have suppose the leads, I get it into the system. Then I have a lot of challenge in terms of quantity and quality. Okay, and this is a dilemma. Shall I send mail to all of them, or shall I send only to handful of them? Shall I chat to a handful of them, or shall I chat with all of them? If I want to even send a happy New Year greetings to all my contacts, I don't think I will be able to do even if I take a week. How to solve this issue?
So the first step is done, right? You've uploaded all your contacts, right? So
Yes,
if you want to send a message, it's very simple. You can open the platform. You can generate amazing content. Whether even the video content, we had a session earlier, 2 3 weeks back, where we were showing that. I don't know whether today we are going to show it, but that's something which we can generate, and we can automatically send this to all the connects that you have, right? And that was related to wishing everyone, which probably will do it for everyone, right? But if you're talking about other aspects like selection of leads, and you cannot send a generic mail to everyone, and it will not resonate with them. It will not. I mean, after some time, they will start ignoring because it's not the
absolutely,
content they would like to see, right? So
absolutely.
we,
Yes,
so we need a system where you can actually monitor lakhs of data which you have constantly, categorized in a more, or rather organized in a more easy way, so that you can filter out those leads you want to touch base on. For example, let's say you have like I mentioned, you will send a greetings to everyone, but at the same time, let's say you are launching a new product which is related to, let's say, manufacturing segment. You would like to only send it to manufacturing segment. So imagine you have
right,
a screen where you can actually select by industry, figure out who are the people in the manufacturing segment, select all, and run it. Just click a button, and the system will, run a drip campaign. Not to impact you, by the way, the spam is a big issue, right? Spam score.
right,
So it will run a drip campaign in a more scientific way, so that it does not get into spams and all. Then the system will be able to deliver all the messages to the right people and the right content. That's more important.
right. So when you talk about scientific, I think more than scientific, we need a system which is more depicting human behavior. So how that is going to be handled?
So I think one of the most important things which has happened, is that GenAI, right? GenAI has come to our rescue, and it's scary as well. But at the same time, we can benefit from such technologies in a big way, and this is what is helping us. If you ask me, the content that we generate with a very narrow perspective, correct?
Right,
So when we actually write a mail to a customer, we need to know the background of the customer, what kind of size the customer has, within the customers. I mean, which employee are we targeting, right?
right,
Those kind of personas, basically persona, right? So
right,
you have an ideal ICP, ideal customer profile as well. Now, to look at all these aspects and create a content is very important, and
right,
it takes time. But now, with the GenAI kind of technology coming in to our rescue, this can be done in seconds, right? That's how the platform generates these content, very personalized content, and which can be used directly to send to customers. And it's human like. I mean, if you ask me, I have generated many, or I have written many mails, but I've always, fell behind what was generated by Gen AI technologies.
right, right. But still, there is a challenge.
Hmm.
I can have my two employees going to Chat GPT, talking about a specific product, and create a email body, and I'm pretty sure they are going to come out with two different version and two different output.
Hmm.
This is not going to help my business, because when all mails going from my office to any customer, if they talk about a specific product, then the USP description, the basic soul of the communication should be seamlessly same. How do I handle in this age?
So I will tell you our own problem. We have multiple products. Okay, when we started doing this activity before GenAI, world, we used to create these mailers. There used to be a lot of to and fro before these mails are approved, because the essence of the product is not known to a lot of people, right? I
Right,
mean, when I say not a lot of people, the marketing team is still not well versed with the technology. They
right,
understand market, but they don't understand the product so well. I'm not saying they don't know, but typically, the development team is well versed with that. Now,
right,
imagine you talk about, or you define your product once and for all into the platform, and then the GenAI knows, or the system platform knows, that this is how you have to use the context, use the product information, which has been fed carefully, and use that to generate new content. And it can be any content. I mean, I'm just not just talking about mails. I'm talking about WhatsApp messages, video content. You, let's say, want to launch a new video. All those things can happen using that context, which is also saved within the platform.
Right. That's really amazing. And when we talk about a lot of quantity today, if I have to really, find my customer, it is picking one needle from the haystack. And for that, I believe if we talk about email or WhatsApp, probably I need to send it to 10,000 of them before I can get 5 or 6 interested parties. Right. Now, in order to do that, I have seen my friends struggling with their domains getting blacklisted, emails getting into spam folders. This is really a big problem. So how are you going to handle this?
So there is a concept. I mean, there are two aspects here. One is emails going to spam before. So there, the Google engine, how it works is that if you are a new mail ID, I mean, if you have a new mail ID, you
Right.
start sending very similar mails or similar contents, right? It automatically puts that into a spam kind of a, or it brings down the score, then it goes into spam folders, right? And I've seen, I'm not just talking about smaller organization. I'm talking about the most famous organizations also facing this issue, right? With respect to
Right.
mails going to spam. So there
Right.
are multiple mechanisms to handle this. So there is a concept called as email warm up, right?
Mhm.
So secondly, another concept is you have to ensure that your main domain is not impacted, right? Your
Mhm.
main domain is not something which should be utilized to send all these mails, so that it does not get into spam folder issues, right?
Mhm.
Now, there are concepts where you can actually buy very similar domains. With, let's say, if you have a .com domain, you can buy it with .co.in or
Yeah.
.org, multiple domains, and then you use that for mail campaigns. And the best part is, in the platform, the way the platform can be set up is that you will do this gradually. For example, if you have created a new mail ID, the
Mhm.
system will be configured in a way that it will only send few mails in a day, right?
Okay.
So that the warm up happens. The concept earlier, which I mentioned about warm up, the system will automatically warm it up. And once it reaches to the stage that it is, not going into spam folders and all, then
Mhm.
you can actually utilize it fully. Another
Mhm.
aspect which is very important, like I mentioned, the emails, right? You use multiple emails. You don't just use one email. You use
Mhm.
probably 10, depending on your appetite, right? You
Okay.
can add 10, 20, 30 email IDs, and you can actually use that for sending emails so that you don't get into spam. Most important, when you get response, even if you get sending emails from 30 different mail IDs, you will get response in your mail ID, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
what's
that was my next challenge. I was about to ask. Thank you responded to that. Uh, Another challenge which is there is, I have 10,000s of emails sending. Probably some will go through the email channel, another will go through the WhatsApp channel. How do I know which channel is working for me?
So most important is, you need to have good analytics dashboard in the platform, and we have that, where you can actually monitor all those things, right? Where are your
Amazing.
campaigns working? Which leads are, coming in from which campaigns, right? Whether it's WhatsApp, email, social media, which is going to come in the near future as well. So you will have one system where you will run all your campaigns, right? Be it
Hmm.
WhatsApp, email, social media, all these campaigns you will run from one system. Once
Right.
you run this, the system will automatically give you all those feedbacks in the form of dashboard, from where you can take informed decisions, right? That
Okay.
who are those leads who are, probably opening your mails, or you are, who are accessing your links and things
Right.
like that. And you will be able to easily cater to that. Like you mentioned, right? You have lakhs of, I mean, you mentioned 10,000. Typically, there are lakhs of leads which are there in mostly everyone's
Yes.
database. How
Yes.
do you focus on few, right? Who are the most important? That's
Right.
one aspect. Second aspect is lead scoring, right? Or lead score. Every lead based on their, the level of interaction that they do, or they do with your organization, they will be judged by a scientific method where the system will understand their score and bring that score up, right? So
Okay.
the system will give a kind of a prediction that these are the scores, or these are the leads who have the highest score, and please go after them, right? Something like that.
Amazing. So that means with the lead score, I can really follow up the top 20% of the customer and put my 80% effort there.
Correct. Correct.
Right. Great. Now, it looks like, the platform, probably what you are talking about, looks like very amazing. Okay. But the world is changing. So today we talk about WhatsApp and email. Tomorrow we can talk about LinkedIn. I don't know. There will be a new XYZ platform. How do we go and keep? Do we find another product who will be, for those new platforms, or how it is going to happen?
So I'll just tell you a feedback. I came from the NASCOM technology conference in the morning. I was there, and they had invited to pitch our platform
Hmm.
to the corporates,
Okay.
and it was pretty exciting. The kind of questions, and even after the question answer session was over, the questions kept coming,
Right.
uh,
Amazing.
and it was, and even the moderator was saying that you can actually give the answers offline. Now the reason why I'm bringing this subject is this is the real problem, right? Everyone is facing this problem, and right now we are talking about marketing channels, right? So
Right.
like you mentioned,
I think, did I lose you? Is it only for me, admin?
No, sir, I think Anil sir's network has gone.
Okay. So, guys, let's wait for a couple of minutes. Anil should be back pretty soon. Hi, Anil. Piyush, can you unmute him?
okay, sorry for that. I
Yes,
just
yes.
wish that
Welcome back, Anil.
thank you. Yeah, I just wish
Yes.
that when I stop. I mean, I face this network issue. Maybe there will be my replica of AI agent, and still continuing the conversation. I'm sure that that day will also come. Okay.
Yeah, of
So
course.
what
That
was the
day,
last thing? Yeah,
I think that day you will be on some island having a vacation.
yeah. What was the last thing you heard? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so we heard that there were a lot of queries in the page, and you were handling them, and they asked you to handle them offline.
Yeah. So yeah. So the reason why I was brought this point when you asked this question was everyone is facing this problem that they have too many disparate systems, too many applications to manage, right? And that's a broader problem I'm talking about, right? That's what we are trying to solve. AI agent for every function in an enterprise. That's what we want to bring on this platform. We have
Right.
already released 13 products, and we are going to bring another 14 in the next 6 to 8 months. Now that's the overall enterprise application point of view. But when you the same situation happens within a specific area, right? Marketing. There are multiple channels. There are 4 channels which are supported. What
Hmm.
happens if there is a new channel which is coming in?
Absolutely.
So we just plug that in into the platform, right? The whole idea of building this platform is to help our customers to focus on their core business, right? They
Okay.
can do what they are do the best, right? Leave the rest to us. I mean, at
Okay.
least leave the technology part to us. That was the thought process. So don't worry, as the keep new channels keeps coming in, we'll keep plugging it into the platform so that they can get the benefit of that as well.
Amazing. It looks like you're not talking about any kind of app, but you're talking about a super app.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. I think this is what the concept which I was pitching to them. Super app is something which was used in 2021-20 time frames. A lot of I mean agencies like Gartner's and research organizations like Gartner, McKinsey, and all Morgan Stanley. They brought up this concept of super app for consumers, end consumers, and nobody talked about enterprises, right? I mean, the enterprise, the organization, the employees of the organization, the customers of the organization, they also need a seamless experience. Like consumers wants seamless experience, like Paytm provides, or Amazon provides. You can pay the bills, you can buy stuff, everything in one application. Similarly, enterprise also needs a seamless experience, and this is what the super app is. Super app that we brought in, that employees, customers, stakeholders, vendors, all of them can have a seamless experience on one single application, and that will benefit everyone in the stakeholders who are actually using the platform.
Okay. Now, I understand it is something really good for an organization, but I still have a doubt that if
Mhm.
my organization is small and I'm using your system, I am going to eventually scale up, and I will be becoming medium to large, and large. So what will happen in that scenario? Is the solution really scalable from SME till enterprise?
Yeah, so the way we have built the architecture is, I will talk about something additional also, what you mentioned beyond that. And because of the question which was asked during that NASCOM event, I'll just probably help the other audience as well, right? So, first part is it scalable? Yes, definitely it is scalable. See, what happens typically in an organization is that if you have to scale up, there are two things that you need to bring in, right? If you're talking about a software platform, one is people to manage the
Right?
softwares, right? I mean, you may increase
Yes,
the number of products, and that would mean that you need to bring people to take care of those products, right?
absolutely. More and more people will join.
Correct. And secondly, when you have to cater to multiple customers, again, you need to bring up new people to support the customers. Now, the
Absolutely.
question would be, and it's a all catch 22 situation. How can you have a balance? And that's more important. We are not saying that people will go away, but what is important is have a balance and grow along with them. Otherwise, typically what happens is we invest so much in infrastructure or a software that we are not able to focus on the customers, right? On the other hand, we are investing so much on the customers that we are not able to focus on actually scaling up the platforms, right? So it has to be a right balance. So that's the main aspect, and that's the reason why we thought to build a subscription based model where organizations can come in as they scale up, be it scaling up of number of employees or number of solutions, picking up multiple products, like you said, multi channels, right? It typically happens that because you have a small team initially, you may pick up only two channels, right? What
Right.
we want to do is let enterprises enjoy all 4 or 5 channels that we want to, they want to utilize. Why limit it based on the number of people they have? Correct? That's the vision, that's the idea, and how you can utilize this platform to scale up their operations.
Okay. Audience, before I ask the next question, let's take a specific small poll here. So, what is your biggest challenge with sales and marketing currently? Please feel free to respond. So, you have another 10 to 15 seconds for responding.
Yeah, while I think I just missed out on the question which was raised, right?
Right.
Uh, I hope it's okay to just finish that.
Absolutely. Please. Yes.
So there was a question which was raised about scaling up, and related to big enterprises, or when we grow to a certain level, they would like to, although most of the clients are moving towards cloud, but some of the clients would like to protect their data, right? Even though our platforms are secured, cloud is secured, but they would like to keep this installation on their premises, and uh, uh, this is where our platform takes it to the next level. You have an on-premise option, right, where you can actually use a SaaS version on-premise and use that to scale up, right? And whenever you are comfortable, you can come on the cloud.
That's amazing. And here is the result of the poll. And I think, we all resonate with the, idea that most of these, challenges are really relevant. Uh, Keeping up with the content creation is also measuring engagement and providing a good ROI of the investment. And also, as the country is growing, business is growing, uh, typically all the businesses, they want also to scale up the process as they grow. So I think everyone is kind of, talking about all these three areas, which is quite relevant and important. Okay, so that's great. Now, I have another question, and I think this is really the most critical question for today. If I have to, ask. You talked about so many features. You talked about so many, automation, and you are offering a super app. Can I afford it? It looks
Yeah,
like it
so
is going to be a very costly affair for me.
not at all, not at all. I think the most important element is that when you are building a software for, I mean, I was talking to one of the organizations who are actually working on a shared services model. Okay, so they have a company which manages operations or software for a group company, multiple group, 10, 15 of the companies, right? Imagine if you have to build software for them, right? How much is it going to cost? Any software for that matter, right? Now this is where this platform completely changes the equation, right? You are, first of all, you are working on a SaaS model. When I say SaaS model, right, it can be an on-premise SaaS also, right? Software as a
Okay.
service typically includes the cloud as well. I mean, you don't invest in infrastructure, right? But
Right.
we come out with a twist, right? We
Okay.
we understand the needs of our customers, so we have come out with a twist and said that okay, on-premise cloud, or sorry, on-premise SaaS. So
Okay.
so that's one aspect, right? So most important element is that they can use the platform, and based on their current volume, their current employee strength, so the cost will be accordingly, right? Based on the number of transactions they are handling. These are some of the parameters based on, depending on the product itself, the system is going to be that, costing that much. But as they keep scaling up, right, of course, when they get higher volumes, higher number of employees, the cost will also improve, but the costs are very, very nominal. And right now we have, some 50% discount offer going on. So,
Okay.
I think people can avail that offer and benefit from it. It's going to not going to be there for a long time, so people can benefit from it.
Okay, amazing. I think at this stage, I'm very excited to see the product.
Sure. So I'll request Amit, if you can share whatever you spoke about, some of those capabilities, and I will just walk through it. So I'll just explain on a very high level. So just few minutes before we dive into a specific product.
First of
Can
all, it looks quite colorful and a lot of information, quite nicely organized with a lot of numbers. It looks very attractive.
Yeah. So the previous poll which you launched, you saw that one of the highest scoring thing was measurement and ROI, right?
Right. Yes.
And measurement is the key, right? How do you measure what's happening, what's going on at each department level? We will specifically focus on marketing and sales, but I want to spend 1 or 2 minutes on overall platform so that everyone understand before we dive into specific marketing components and all. Now, when you have different levels in an organization, you have leads, you have managers, you have heads, you have the CXO levels, right? Every level needs a kind of dashboard where they can find the relevant information and take decisive actions, right? We all know, right? Earlier people used to say, or now, even now, they are saying that data is gold, right?
Right.
Now, and why they say this is because data is so important, crucial to actually take decisions. And all of us, you, me, all of us actually take decisions and are able to take better decisions based on data, and that's
Right.
very crucial. And this is what the dashboard provides while your organization is running in autopilot mode. And of course there are people involved where they are actually working on various departments. You have this dashboard, which is management dashboard. Project management, Collabro is the project management tool that we have employee handbook, which actually helps employees to ask queries related to policies and all those things. They don't need to go anywhere, ask anyone, just open a chat and ask questions, and the information will come right in front of them. And not just that, we have a virtual assistant which talks to you in your own language. So you can ask questions in your own language and it will respond back. So that's there. And there are multiple dashboards which will be available for you in front of you based on your privileges or your role in the organization. And you can daily, I use this heavily. In fact, most of the time I use these dashboards on my mobile to take decisions. So very, very important for all of us to first of all understand this concept of dashboards and why it is really helpful. Now going into the details of it. So when we speak
Have
about,
I have a question, Anil.
please.
I have a dashboard, but sometimes it is easy for me to get a report on the email on a periodic basis. How do we do it?
So it's pretty simple. If you can see there is a calendar button there in front of each of scheduler report, right? So anyone can, for that matter, schedule this. You don't need to go into details, Ramit. It's fine, but you can schedule this report, and anyone can do it, right? You don't need to call the admin to schedule the report. You have access to some report, right? You are a SaaS sales head, so you will need SaaS related reports. You can just come to your dashboard and decide that, okay, these 4 dashboards or these 4 reports I want on a daily basis, right? You can just configure and it will start appearing based on you. So I'll just tell you that for me, myself, I actually publish 3 times a day, not all reports, but a couple of reports which are very important for me, which includes even my tasks, right? Even my tasks, which are important for me, all the open tasks, I have scheduled it so that it reaches me before I start the work, midday and end of day, so that I can keep track of them and close them on time.
Amazing, great.
So let's move on. So there are multiple products. You can see that there is Smart Sales and Smart Campaign, right? And in fact, multiple products. So we'll focus on today Smart Sales and Smart Campaign. So Ramit, can you start with one of them? I think you have to open. Maybe you can start with Smart Sales so that we can understand how the leads and all are. Yeah. So basically, what you do in this, and it's a very simple screen, right? You just need to add leads here. And what is most important is that you add a lot of information related to the lead, right? You add information like where was the lead source from, who's the person who's going to handle this, the BDR, the lead score, which I mentioned earlier also. And also at the same time, you have an option to actually generate a content mail from here, right? And that's very crucial. And imagine it being a very personalized email. So when you fill up all this information, right, and if you click on generate mail, what will happen is it will, based on the company, the lead that you are talking about, based on the contact details which are mentioned there in this middle section. Ramit, if you can hover around whatever I'm saying, that will helpful. The contact details, which is in the middle section. If you fill all these details, it will draft a personalized email. What does it mean? For example, let's say I write contact name as Ajay, and that is the lead for me. And let's say I am the BDR, right? In the top section, I will put my name as BDR. Now, what will happen is when you generate mail, it will generate the content based on what kind of organization you belong to, right? Based on that, a very specific curated mail will come in where it will address the mail to you, and it will introduce me as well, right? It will introduce saying that, okay, I am so and so. Hi Ajay, I am so and so, and blah blah blah. The rest of the story will be automatically crafted. Now, this is a start, okay? And you can see there are multiple features which are mentioned or described. Of course, this is blank because you have not selected the product, I guess. But typically, what happens is that when you actually select a content properly, the system will automatically draft a mail which is related to your product. Okay. And you don't need to worry about it. I mean, like we discussed in the earlier part, I think Ramit, you can fill in those details so that people can just really see the real product and the description which comes in, right? So so what I was saying was that you once and for all, you have actually filled in the 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 product information, right, in the platform, which I mentioned earlier. Correct. Now
Yes.
the product, the system knows the BDR, knows, the lead, the company which you belong to, and then the system will automatically draft a mail which will be related to specifically for your organization.
Yes,
Right?
I can see it has changed. The content is changed as per the product selected.
So you see that my name is Raghav, hi Ajay, and it was very personalized. It spoke about a specific product. It spoke about all the features of that product, right?
Yes, yes,
Automatically, without any human intervention, just changing facts. If let's say you want to change the product and put something else, it will happen, right? So
right.
that's the way the platform behaves. I think just to take care of the time part, we should speed up a bit. So Ramit, let's move on to the next. One more important thing while Ramit is moving ahead, what we want to do at the end of the day is run autopilot AI agents. Okay, when I say autopilot AI agents, and that time is not far, and we'll soon come up with an extension of the next version of this as well, where your AI agents will choose everything, right? You have, like you mentioned, the challenge that you are talking about, where there are lakhs of, or you mentioned 10,000s of leads, and you need to choose and send emails. Imagine an AI agent which is actually automatically picking up the best leads. You don't
Right,
have to come to any screen, okay?
right,
You automatically picking up the leads which have the best scores, automatically creating the content, automatically shooting emails to them, right?
right.
That's where we will reach very soon, in the next versions, upcoming versions.
And it should also know whether this is the first email or second email. And in
Yeah,
between, he has read the email, he has not read the email, he has
correct.
responded back with a query.
Correct. So what will happen is that when someone is going to, of course, if they have not read the mail, obviously the mail will be accordingly. The
Right,
next reminder mail will be accordingly. But
right,
imagine if the person has responded back, right? If the person comes back and responds saying that, okay, can you show me a demo? Okay. So can it be more? Of course, we can choose. We will put in a way that it is configurable. But imagine if the system will automatically send a response with a video link. Okay, no human intervention. The AI agent knows that this is the mail which came in, and this is the response what should go. Right. This is the
right,
future that we see, and will happen in the upcoming versions.
right. Amazing, amazing.
So Ramit, let's go to the next one then.
So now I understand the leads are created and leads are there in the system. Probably there is a lead score also populated. Now, I think I will be very interested to know how do I create content which is really relevant for a specific channel?
Okay, so let's go to the content now. So we have created two options right now. It will be merged soon. The video content is separate and the rest of the contents are separate. So you choose basically what kind of content you want to generate. Okay, and Ramit, you can start filling up so that we can save time. Okay, so you choose content, you choose categorize it, because all these information that we have provided of category, subcategory, all these are important. Why? Because these are the information which will help you in future to see that which type of campaigns are working well, right? You're running campaigns for multiple organizations. For example, multiple webinars are being conducted, like this webinar. Wait, Ramana. So multiple webinars are being conducted. The system should automatically understand that which ones are doing well, and the poll question which you asked, right? More important was measurement and ROI, correct?
Right,
And that's why we have emphasized that these information become very, very crucial for first feeding in, so that the system will automatically generate those reports, help in giving the right perspective of which campaigns are working well, which are not working well. Now you can see that when Ramit added just the product name, the
right,
USPs and the description all came all together, right? And this is just
right,
temporary thing, which we have added in the platform. But typically, this is what will happen. Imagine, this is just simple, right? Imagine people are, if I talk about other industries, right? Other industries like, let's say, cosmetic industry. Someone comes up with a new product and they want to launch in the market. Imagine they just need to come and add the description and USPs once. Rest of the content can be generated, new contents every time, new stories, new ideas can be generated automatically without any intervention because the system knows your product, right? Or knows the USP that you have. So that's the way the platform works. So can you go
So,
ahead next?
so,
Yeah.
so that means for doing my campaign, I can take any kind of employee and start using the tool. I don't need an
Yeah.
expert to run.
Yeah, and I always felt, I mean, and this was during initial days. Now we have a good team with us who help us in marketing as well. But during initial days, I remember that we were struggling in terms of what, I mean, how will do the social media marketing or generate content? And I have only limited hands, right? And every similar thought process or similar issue is there in every organization, right? People have
Right.
ideas, but for them to execute and bring it to the market, it's not easy. Imagine, I mean, today I can actually put a topic and I can generate the content, right? The post topic, welcome to AIQoD360, right? If I want to think of a topic, for example, let's say the 50% offer campaign, I just will change that welcome to AIQoD and make it 50% off, and I will proceed and it will generate a content which is very specific to that topic. So imagine a person like me who's probably not expert in marketing, right? Not expert in digital marketing, social media, but I have ideas. I can just come out with ideas and I can generate these outputs with ease, right? That's a ease that this platform will bring in.
That's amazing.
You can run, so you can see the channel, right? So typically there are other things also, right? Industry, the tone that you want to bring in, the channel which you select. Now these are important elements. Okay, why it is important is, for example, what you will write for manufacturing will be very different from what you will write for another industry. So that's why the platform is very, I mean, flexible to give you these options to then generate the right kind of content. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can show one generated content, that will be great. You have to say generate, ready, okay.
Okay, so that's fabulous, well structured, quite short and sweet, and absolutely on the target.
Correct. And now this was the place where we were generating content. Of course, when you go, this is an email content, right? When you go next, the system will automatically create the WhatsApp content because you selected initially two contents, one WhatsApp,
Right.
and one was email. And in
Email.
future, you asked me one question in the beginning that what happens when there are other channels, right? When you have other channel, the system will automatically generate further content as well, right?
Amazing. That's amazing. Very nice. Looks
Okay,
like
so
piece of cake for me now.
yeah, that's the intention, right? I mean, intention is to ensure that we empower people like you, right, who have ideas, who can use this to actually manage all these things even a better way, right, or make it faster.
Amazing.
Okay, let's move to
Can
the next.
we take a user query also, Anil? There is a
Until let's
very
let's wait
quick.
for the end. Quickly finish this off, and
Okay.
then we'll take all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so the next is campaign. I think we are short of time, so we will save at least 5 minutes for the questions.
Question and answer. Yes.
Um, okay, so now again the same part, right? When you're running campaigns, you need to decide. In this case, first of all, you will define what kind of campaigns have to be run, when it has to run, so that system can automatically trigger it. You will also define a lot of elements, aspects like what information that you want to use or configure so that the campaign will run in an autopilot mode. Okay, so these are some of those parameters, standard parameters. I will not get into the details of it. One most important, all those elements which I mentioned in the beginning, that selecting multiple emails, right? So
Right.
in the from drop down, can you go to just quickly that from drop down, Ramit? So you will see that here it is one. I think we should configure more email IDs so that we can showcase the capability. But typically you will see number of email IDs here, and you can select that it should, if there are 5 email IDs, you select all of them, and the system will automatically use all those emails to send campaigns, right? Which is
Amazing.
very important to ensure that the emails doesn't go in spam.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I can also see one feature here which looks like pretty human behavior depiction. The max
Mhm.
gap between two emails in seconds. That means even if
Yes.
I want to send many emails, the server is not going to send all of them in one go and land my domain into blacklist. So I think this
Exactly.
is very a smart feature.
Yeah, so exactly. I think that was the question which you had asked as well. So
Right.
here the 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 manual intervention of trying to orchestrate the mails and all kind of is completely you know um, ma- done in the platform itself, right? You don't need to worry. Once you have run the campaign, you can rest be assured that system will use all these parameters and not get into a state where your email IDs are blacklisted.
Right. And I can also see that the platform is allowing a very flexible feature or of unsubscribing text so
Yeah.
that I'm not, I'm becoming a user-friendly email.
Yeah, so I think that is another important element, that if you don't have a unsubscribe option for such email campaigns, Google will anyway make you, I mean, or all these email service providers will, make sure that your email ID is blacklisted. So this is one of the aspects, elements used by email service providers to evaluate whether your emails are, genuine or not, right? And if you don't
Right.
use it, there is a problem. That's why we have kept, like I mentioned, these are all standard. I mean, maybe I'm not able to see that so seriously, but you are bringing it out. Thank you for that. But yes, these are all very very important parameters that we need to set to ensure that the campaigns are run properly.
Right. And I can also, see one thing as Mr. Ramit is moving from one feature, one product to another. There's a virtual assistant which is coming and he is saying now your context is set to campaign management. Earlier it was saying to a smart sales. So I think this looks like another important feature which can help.
Yeah, so this virtual assistant is used for the entire platform. That what it means is, of course, it is based on permission. You don't have access to everything, right? Depending on role and role in the organization, the platform will allow you access, right? So and typically this is what happens, right? I mean, if you have I mean, let's say if we have hundreds of campaigns which you have run before, and you want to remember that there was some campaign which worked really well, can we learn from it, right? And you want to extract that information. Now, it is typically next to impossible, and I know practically that half of the people will not even remember. And we will, most of the time, we actually reinvent the wheel. And this is where the platform helps in using virtual assistant. You can search anything in the platform, right? Again, I'm repeating, this is secure. It is only based on access. Okay. If I don't have access to campaign management, I will not be able to search. That's the way it is, right? Similarly, you can search on content, you can search on campaigns or anything for that matter.
Okay,
Okay.
amazing.
Let's move from it. Just save just a couple of minutes left. So now this is very important. Now I mentioned initially as well, right? When you are running campaigns, of course, this is a very small temporary database, not the real one. But this is how things will be managed, right? You will have to send campaigns for specific industry, right? When you are sending it for pharmaceutical, the same mail will not work for food tech, correct? So when you are creating a content, you selected industry there, right? And this is flexible. I'm just giving an example, right? You selected industry there, you selected let's say manufacturing, and then you come here and select manufacturing. You will get the list of all manufacturing leads that you have, right? And you can just select all and submit, and the system will automatically run email and WhatsApp campaigns for them, right? That's the way the system behaves. And this, you can you go to the right top corner, the industry. Yeah, so you have multiple options, right? I mean, you don't need to, I mean, don't need to select, but I'm just trying to explain that there are multiple options here where you can actually categorize the leads or manage the leads. I want to, let's say, you have done some webinar, okay? Now this webinar, and you want to send emails to all the people who came to the webinar, right? So I just go to lead category, I select the webinar where all the participants will be shown. I just go and select all and send the campaign, right? So it becomes a very simple mechanism to manage the leads and manage campaigns through the platform.
Okay, this sounds amazing, and very simple user interface to work with, very intuitive and very clean.
Sorry,
And
sir.
yeah, I mean, the user interface looks like very clean, very intuitive. And I see in the back end, there's a start to end. I believe there is a workflow, which is, maybe the automation is taking care of the entire workflow and it is hand-holding me through the entire workflow.
Yeah, we have always taken care of this part that organizations run. I mean, they run on a flat. I mean, now modern organizations are more of a flat organization, but still there are maker, checker, reviewer kind of a concept, right? You actually have people who are going to create content. You are going to review it before it goes out, correct? So we
Right.
have ensured that those things are taken care of. The platform, the workflow, there is a workflow. I mean, right now, if we enable this workflow approval system, the system, once the content is created, it goes to the relevant stakeholders for approval before it can be accepted, and it goes into different medias, different channels.
Very nice. So can we
Yeah,
proceed
Raman, can you
and
go
close?
ahead and let's quickly show. I think there is a question which is related to tone, and if we
Yes.
can
So
quickly.
there are two questions. Let me, ask these two questions. The first one is coming from Mr. Ankesh. Which
Mhm.
model is being used to generate these contents?
So okay, which model is okay?
Which model
So
is being used to generate these contents?
I wanted to address both the things together.
Okay.
Just
So the
to finish off the video, so that we can address both the things together, right?
okay. So the second question is, this is also coming from Abhishek.
No, I read it. What I'm saying is,
You read it. Okay.
I'm
Go ahead.
saying that once we show the video, we'll be able to address both the questions.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Sorry, I'm running because of the time issue. Huh? I mean,
Yes. 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 Absolutely.
um, Ramit, can you go to the video content? Are we going to show video content today?
We can take a quick look.
Okay.
We still have few minutes.
Okay. So can you just quickly go to the categories, fill up the entire thing quickly? Don't 2 minutes it will take. Yeah. And you show the festival, no? So instead of product, we have shown enough of product, right? Show a festival. So you have different options here, related to tone, and you can have funny, you can have multiple professional, multiple things, okay? And the system will automatically generate which is content based on the tone. And it is also going to not just look at the tone. That are not the only two parameters. All the content above, whether it is which industry, which product, which topic, which is the most important thing there, you change the topic, the content will change, the storyline will change. See, we always, I mean, I guess everyone knows that marketing is all about storytelling, right? So
Right.
what is important is the right storyline that we want to bring in front of the customer. So once you bring the storyline, these are the options which comes to you. Once you select the storyline, and you select options like which option you want to choose, and you select the number of seconds, and you generate script, automatically system will generate a beautiful video in just no time. I mean, I don't know whether I mentioned this, but I generated Diwali, I mean, greetings for the team on my mobile, through my mobile, using this tool, and I shared it with the entire organization. So that's how easy it is.
Amazing. Can we see one video?
Yeah, can you just quickly open the couple of videos if you have any, Raman, in the system? Yeah, just quickly play it. I think volume will not be there. So there is a voiceover as well, because you have to share that specific screen. It's okay. It's okay. We don't have time. It's fine. I'll just explain. Right. So every video is actually included with voiceover. So while the text is coming, the captions are coming, it still gives a voiceover of the video and explains the storyline, right? And that is most important. That is most compelling. And soon we'll be coming up with multiple options of in generating video in your own languages, right? I mean, we are a diverse, not just India. If you look at outside world as well, a lot of organizations who would like to give these ads and things like that in their own language. So we will come out with this all these capabilities soon in the next upcoming versions as well. So to answer the question
Yeah.
on two things, one is model. Second one I answered, right? Whether it is
Yes.
casual or professional, the tone automatically can be selected and decided.
Right.
The model, that is what we do. I mean, that's our main forte. Not we are not building LLM models, but we actually use multiple models which are there in the market, right? We use it, we fine tune it to make it ready based on which one gives the best cost effective results, right? So even if it is, I mean, we have to look at multiple parameters, right? One of the things which Ajay mentioned, you mentioned, was about cost, whether
Right.
it will cost a bomb. We cannot do that, right? We cannot build a super LLM model which will be costing millions of dollars, and then we charge our customers like that. Nobody will be able to afford it. So the whole idea is how we can bring a LLM model which is cost and efficient as well in the same time. And this is the output is generated by videos are appreciated by many of our clients, and this is something which we believe is helping. So not a single model, we have multiple models that we work with today.
That's amazing. And Anil, thank you for answering our audience question. And I believe this was a very informative session. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the tool for sending all the best wishes for the Happy New Year to all my contacts, and I
Nice.
look forward, to use it for that purpose. Thank you
Same here.
very much, Mr. Anil. Thank you, audience, and we will keep meeting in our next webinar, which is almost every week we conduct, and all these webinar series are very informative, brings new knowledge, and imparts new knowledge, gives industry trends. So keep visiting us, keep looking for this space for more information and amazing product information. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.